Welcome to the Alignment Blueprint. I'm your host, Callie. I'm a holistic life and business strategist. I also happen to be extremely passionate about holistic healing and growth. With over 13 years of experience, I've worked with clients from all walks of life. I also know living an authentically aligned life in business and in health can be a little overwhelming. I'm here to break it down for you and take you on my journey to authentic alignment. Remember, the materials and content within this podcast are intended as general information only and are not to be considered a substitute for medical advice or treatment. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Alignment Blueprint. I'm here today with me, and I have a story I wanted to share with you about alignment, about releasing control, about trusting in whatever it is that you believe in, whether that be God, universe, spirit. It doesn't matter to me. I just ask that you trust. And the reason I ask that you trust is because, for one, for me at least, it feels so much better in my body, feels so much better in my mind, feels so much better in my spirit. And for two, the more tangible thing is I get to receive more of what I'm wishing for, hoping for, and dreaming of when I release control and trust. So I want to tell you a story today. I was in a place this past week where I was kind of like, okay, something's got to give. Something's got to work. Something's got to happen, because things just weren't panning out the way that I wanted them to pan out. They weren't looking the way that I wanted them to look. And I was trying to manically manifest. I was trying to control the situation. I was trying to push, hustle, until something happened. And guess what? Nothing was happening. And I had this divine download to just drive. And that's when I think really well, is when I drive or walk outside or listen to music or whatever it is. And I encourage you to find what works best for you, what feels really good in your body, where you can really get the downloads and think and hear, and mostly feel. But I'm driving down the road and I just say this prayer, and I'm like, I want guidance. I want things to change. I want something different. Please guide me on what it is that needs to come through. And I was saying in my prayer, what I'm doing isn't working. Can you please show me a better way? Within 10 minutes of that prayer, literally maybe less than 10 minutes, I got the most unexpected phone call that I could have ever received. And it was an opportunity for me to be able to not have to worry about things so much, to not have to struggle, to not have to be needing for more. It was the most impeccable and aligned opportunity, and it felt so good in my body. And if I had gotten that call a week earlier, and this is just to get on the timing alignment and how beautiful timing is and trusting is, if I had gotten that call a week early, I would not have accepted it. I would have not received the call. I may not have answered the call. But in that time and space, I knew I had asked for a sign. I knew I had asked for guidance. And I knew I needed to answer that call, and more so wanted to answer that call. And when I did that, I got to come from a place of, oh my gosh, I get to do this, instead of I have to do this and need to do this. I got to come from a place in my business of I get to receive, I get to help, I get to make an impact, instead of I have to do this. I have to do this so I can get X, Y, and Z. And that's not how I want to be in my business ever. And that's not how I am for the most part. But I was getting to a point of unalignment or disalignment or misalignment. And it just wasn't feeling good in my body and my mind and my soul. And I let it up to God for me, to universe, to spirit. I just release control completely, because when we're trying to control things, right? And when we're trying to manically manifest, we're just stressing ourselves the fuck out. We're not really being as productive as we possibly could be with our time, because nothing is fucking fun. So when we're sharing, if you're in a business capacity and you're sharing online and you're sharing your messaging, the people that are your community are not dumb people. They're very intelligent beings. They're beautiful beings with hearts, spirits, and souls. They can feel that energy. And when you come from that kind of energy, it's going to feel icky to them, because it feels icky to you. So my encouragement to you today is to trust more. And how can we do this, right? It's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard because I know we have bills to pay. I know we need to get shit done. I know we have X, Y, and Z to do. I know we got to run our kids all these places and get the Christmas presents wrapped and do all this stuff. But in that chaos and hecticness, I just invite you to take a breath, to breathe in deep, and to really listen to what Spirit is telling us. Listen to the messages that are coming through. And trust that what is happening for you, what is happening to you is actually happening for you. I really encourage you to try that today because it feels so much better. And like, if you feel like you can't find a moment to breathe, I mean, I'm telling you, just take like a 3-second deep breath in, hold it at the top for 3 and breathe out, breath out. Like, you can do this. And as far as releasing control, I know how hard that is. I know how difficult it is, but it's just something that you have to continually try and practice over time. It's like a muscle and you have to exercise it. And I've been exercising it for years and I still forget. So today I just encourage you to trust a little more, especially leading up into the holiday season, to love a little more leading into the holiday season, yourself especially, and to really just give it to whatever it is you believe in. Trust that it's all happening for you. Ask for guidance. Say a prayer of some kind. And really just believe that your dreams that live inside of you for a reason, and they're meant to come to life through you, and they're really already here. We just have to trust enough to see it to fruition and let it come to fruition and be patient, because the timing is honestly impeccable. If I would have gotten that call a week earlier, I wouldn't have been accepting of it. So today I just encourage you to do that, and I love you guys, and I will see you next week on another episode of the Alignment Blueprint, which will be after Christmas. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And also, I just kind of want to touch on, if you're grieving during this holiday season, I invite you to do it in community, in whatever community you feel safe, seen, and heard in. I'm not telling you that you have to join any type of community out there. I do have a community. If you're interested, please just email me, Callie@callietony.com. But I just ask that you find a community to do it in, someone that's not going to judge you, a space that's not going to judge you, that you should be further along by now, or that you shouldn't be grieving anymore, that holds space for you where you're at, whether it be a loved one, whether it be someone online, whether it be a neighbor in the street or in a grief support group. I just encourage you to find that kind of support and really lean into it, because it's so helpful. And then also, another exercise I shared in Grief Connection community today was sharing a moment that triggered you and like how it made you feel. And then I also shared some other ways that you can navigate that trigger. So I know the holidays can be super triggering. I personally get triggered every time I see a motorcycle. And what I do in my support for the trigger, I feel the feelings that come up. And instead of like judging it, I let myself be where it is, and I say a prayer for that person, because that's what works for me. So I just invite you to find, when you see a trigger, especially during this holiday season, or feel a trigger, to find what feels best for you and really lean into that. Maybe it's taking a walk, maybe it's listening to music, maybe it's whatever it is for you, but lean into that and just embrace it and know that you're doing the best you can. And I'm super damn proud of you, and I hope you're damn proud of you too. I love you guys. I will check you out next time on the next episode of the Alignment Blueprint.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Alignment Blueprint. I hope you enjoyed and got at least one takeaway. Liking what you hear? Subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you listen from. And don't forget to join me over on Instagram @CallieTony_. That's @CALLITONY_. Talk soon.